Here's a look at the market from the eMiniDayTrader perspective after the close of regular trading hours from Thursday, January the 29th. Just identifying what we're looking at here for a moment. We're looking at the market profile and volume profile for today. This is the one for yesterday, and over here is the one for the previous day. The other ones that you see in between here, this is the overnight session that occurred between Tuesday and Wednesday, and this was the overnight that occurred between Wednesday and Thursday. So what we were dealing with going into today was still the expectation of an up or consolidation type market. We had a move overnight here the night before, and then a good bit of trading with, as you can see, we even had some range extension on this day and also a fairly positive close, although we did see some rejection off of what we call a selling tail on the high of the day. So we knew that that was a good area of resistance going into the overnight trade. And as you can see, the market did not quite get up there, but instead started to drift lower. And by the time the overnight session had finished, you can see that the value area of the overnight session was below the high volume from the previous day. And then, of course, we had a relatively weak opening here in regular trading hours today, a relatively small initial balance range, and so we were anticipating some range extension, and it did drop, although the drop today was on relatively light volume. So I think it's somewhat suspect as far as the expectation of that market to continue lower. What I'm showing here are some profiles that I've grouped together, and this was the profile from last week, so that's 4 days, and you can see the high volume area here acting as support beginning of this week, and this was the first 2 days of trading this week, and you can see that that high volume area right here has more or less acted as support, at least for the time being. And so I think we need to keep monitoring that area, which is in around the 842 area approximately. If the market should show some strength below that, is strength as far as the sellers are concerned, then the next level down, of course, would be in about the 830 area to 834. But the gap that we had that had formed here when the market had moved up from what was it, from Tuesday to Wednesday, that has been erased, this yellow area I'm putting in here. And the fact that we spent a lot of time below that today totally erased it here and spent time below it. That's certainly a bearish structure. Although I think that still the kind of volume that we had on this upswing is certainly stronger than we've had so far on this downswing. And so that's why I'm saying we could very well find some support here and try and move a little bit higher tomorrow. There are some news announcements that will be released tomorrow, although I don't think they're really the kind that is likely to move the market substantially. We have Chicago PMI, Michigan Sentiment, and the Employment Cost Index. Should any one of them come out much much different than what's expected, obviously that could move the market, but would not be at all surprised we have some sort of day of consolidation tomorrow. And I think we need to monitor that support area initially around 42 or so. If it can hold above there overnight, it may test it early in the morning, but that would be a key level. If it can hold early tomorrow morning, then we're quite possibly in for a bit of a bounce. So that's a little bit of the outlook of how we were looking at the market going into today and today. Here's our software, just taking a look at how the market unfolded today. We had a couple of trades. We had to wait. We didn't have anything that triggered early in the day. We had a couple of probes up here. Unfortunately, even though those were good trigger bars, we really didn't have the kind of setup that we like. So we didn't make short trades off of that. We still had somewhat of a bullish bias going into it. But when the market made a new low down here, we did get short. It reached our first objective and then turned around, so we were stopped out. Some of us had a loss on that, some of us had a break even on that trade. But when it dipped back down here, we had a nice trade, and it bounced about 3 points on us, so the second trade of the day worked out great. From there, we then had another similar scenario, trying to get short once again in here, and this time it just gave too good a bounce. And once again, we were able to get back on board on the long side as the market rallied from here in this area. And so we had another really nice trade on the bounce side of things. It rallied, I think that one 3.25 points in our favor. We didn't have another trade until later on up in here. It moved 1.25 points in our direction. So worst case scenario, net break even on that trade, and the same thing on a very late trade as the market dipped down and then gave us a rejection. So interesting to note that we had several long trades here, which worked out fine. It's kind of funny. We had a day today where we made money on the long trades and lost on the short, even though the market was going down most of the day. So yeah, it's just kind of the way the market unfolds sometimes. But I think what we do need to monitor is to see if the market can give us any kind of follow through overnight. And if it can't, it could be setting the stage for what could be a fairly nice rally. I'm certainly not predicting it, but I'm looking at that in the sense that if it's able to do something like that, it would not surprise me. I think we also got to look in this area up in here as potential resistance in around 850 as well. After all, this was really the high in this area, approximately 850, where the market had its last down move today. And the market got somewhat volatile during that move, but certainly not a lot of volume came in on that last down move. Certainly not a lot of volume as the day sold off. So leading me to think that even though we have very bearish structure, it's somewhat suspect as far as confirming it and expecting much of continuation. That'll be it for a quick look at our trades for today. And if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and you can get a hold of us at eMiniDayTrader.com. Thanks for taking the time to view this.